This is opening week for baseball and softball. We also have equestrian and men's and women's basketball in action. Welcome to Capital City Sports. The baseball team had a home opener against Albany Friday night. Claudia Chikamian has the coverage.
We're here at Founders Park, and that means the 2016 Gamecock baseball season is officially underway. With the number 2 freshman class in the nation this year, the Gamecocks are hoping that these newcomers help South Carolina get a lot further than they did last season. Clark Schmidt got the ball for Friday night's contest against Albany to try and get the Gamecocks off to a good start. After a slow first and leaving too many men on base, the offense heated up in the second. TJ Hopkins hit a sac bunt, putting DC Arendas and John Jones in scoring position. Clark Scolomero hit a sac fly to left that brought in Jones and scored the first run of the season. Junior college transfer Dom Thompson-Williams started the third with a single, then Jonah Bride and Alex Destino loaded the bases. In his first game with South Carolina, Jones doubled deep to center to clear the bases, scoring Bride, Destino, and Thompson-Williams. The score was 4-0 Gamecocks after 3. Albany gets on board when Matt Hinchy singles scoring Will Miller, but a great defensive play at third ends the inning and stopped Albany from scoring anymore. Senior Marcus Mooney joined the action, doubling just inside the foul line, putting him in scoring position. Thompson-Williams comes up to the plate and knocks one directly over the right field wall, hitting the first home run out of Founders Park this season. This is Thompson-Williams' first career home run as a Gamecock and his third hit of the night, proving that this freshman class is just as talented as they appear to be. This gives the Gamecocks a 6-0 lead in the fourth. The offense didn't stop there. 2 back-to-back bases-loaded walks by Arendas and Hopkins brings in 2 more to make it 8-0 South Carolina. Bride continued to make his strong debut with a double to left, scoring Thompson-Williams. Thompson-Williams finished the day going 3 for 4. Scolomero collected his second RBI of the night with a single to score Arendas. Brandon McElwain made his much-anticipated debut in the 8th, but came up short with a groundout to third to end the inning. South Carolina goes on to win it 10-1. Schmidt got the win, going 6 innings and only giving up 3 hits and 1 run. Outfielder Dom Thompson-Williams had a great night, home running for the first time in garnet and black. The Gamecocks will finish out their opening series against Albany on Saturday and Sunday. From Founders Park, I'm Claudia Chikamian for Capital City Sports.
Friday afternoon, the softball team took on UNC Greensboro. Ben Parsons has the coverage.
We're here at the Carolina Softball Stadium where the Gamecocks host the Carolina Classic this weekend. The Gamecocks look to kick off this 3-day round-robin event with a victory against the UNC Greensboro Spartans. Victoria Williams hits what looks like to be a routine pop fly to left field. However, McKinney misplays the ball and the Gamecocks capitalize on the error to get on the board. After the Gamecocks score 3 runs in the second inning, the Spartans respond with a 2 RBI single from Danielle Vega. Nikki Blue gets out of a critical 2-out, 2-on jam in the top of the third. Elena Page hits a scorching line drive double into the right field corner, scoring 2 runs for the Gamecocks to begin their 5th inning rally. Next up, Kennedy Clark hits an RBI single to make the score 8-3. Victoria Williams hammers the ball to deep left for a 2 RBI double. Finally, to cap off the 7-run inning, Kayla Snare hits an RBI single. The Gamecocks slaughter the Spartans by the final score 11-3 in 5 innings. The Gamecocks defeated the UNC Greensboro Spartans tonight 11-3 in 5 innings. The keys to their victory was a 5th inning eruption in which they scored 7 runs. Great production by the top half of their lineup as they accounted for 9 out of the 11 runs, and great defense. Their next game will be on Saturday against the Ohio Bobcats, and we hope to see you there. On behalf of Capital City Sports, I'm Ben Parsons.
On Saturday, our equestrian team took on Texas A&M. Katie Anger has the coverage.
This is Katie Anger coming to you from Blythewood at One Wood Farm, where your Gamecocks just lost in a tough nail-biter to the Texas A&M Aggies. With the Aggies ranked 3rd and your Gamecocks ranked 9th in the NCAA rankings, the stakes were already high. However, it was also the last home meet of the season, as well as senior day for the team's 7 seniors, so the pressure was built up even more. With good rides throughout the day and a killer comeback made in the horsemanship division, the competition was sure intense here.
The day started out slow for the Gamecocks going into the first 2 divisions. Starting off with the reigning division, freshman Madison Teal scored the only Gamecock point against A&M's 4, beating her opponent by just a half a point. Senior Sarah Bouchard made her final home Gamecock appearance in the division. Aggie senior Logan Pluhar won 1 of 4 of A&M's points in reigning over Gamecock Bridget White. She also rode in the horsemanship division and was awarded one of the Aggie MOP awards, the other earned by sophomore equitation over fences rider Alex Desiderio. Then it was on to the equitation over fences with winning rides by sophomore Chloe Schmidt and senior Samantha Smith. Smith also rode in the equitation on the flat against Texas A&M's Hannah Williams, where the 2 tied and no point was awarded. Smith was awarded one of the 2 Gamecock MOP awards. Although the Gamecocks lost the first 2 divisions, they took advantage in the horsemanship division, sweeping the Aggies with an amazing score of 5-0. With all winning rides by the Gamecocks, including an impressive 73.5-point win by senior Abigail Pate, the score was then 8-7, with the Gamecocks winning for the first time of the meet. Pate was awarded the 2nd MOP award for the Gamecocks for her ride. It all came down to the end of the equitation division to see who the winner would be. However, with impressive rides from riders on A&M in the equitation on the flat, the Gamecocks just couldn't pull it off, and the Aggies won the division 3-1. The 1 point for the Gamecocks was earned by senior Samantha Kraus in her final ride at home as a Gamecock. The other 3 seniors, Erin Fry, Kelsey Urban, and Hayden DeJane, all made appearances in the final home meet of their Gamecock careers as well. The final score of the meet was 10-9.
From here, your Gamecocks are going on the road to face the number 1 ranked Auburn Tigers. Although a tall order, your Gamecocks made quite the comeback today. Let's see if they can finish the upset and get their first SEC win of the season. This is Katie Anger with CCS, Capital City Sports.
On Saturday, our men's basketball team took on Florida. John Dowdy was at the Colonial Life Arena.
After a couple of tough losses for Frank Martin and the boys, they returned home to the Colonial Life Arena to take on the Florida Gators in one of the last couple of games for the seniors.
Florida got off on the right foot by winning the tip-off, and Kayvon Allen put the first points on the board for the Gators. But USC would jump out to a 17-point lead early in the half with help from Dwayne Notice, crossing over on Brandon Francis Ramirez and burying the 3. Later on, it's Michael Carrera launching up a contested 3 that bounces all over the rim before finally dropping. Then the big man, Lamona Sakevicius, with his mom at the Colonial Life Arena, putting up a straightaway 3 to cap the run. However, Florida would go on a 20-0 run to end the first half. Dorian Finney-Smith put up 9 of those points in all sorts of fashions, from outside and underneath. Skip ahead to the second half, Carrera again from downtown. Then on defense, he gets the steal to Hakevicius, outlet to Sindarius Thornwell with the sledgehammer, and we got free basketball. The big man Hakevicius strikes again in the extra period, putting up 4 of Carolina's 9 points. The defense would lock down the Gators to give Frank Martin his first coaching win over Florida. Final score at CLA, 73-69. And here is head coach Frank Martin.
Yeah, I was concerned for our guys because we've been vulnerable for the last week, and but once again, Sindarius, Mendogas, Limonis, Dwayne, that core guys, they like I told them 2 days ago, I said, you guys didn't crack when we were 1 and whatever in last place in league play. You didn't crack when we went into Georgia with 7 guys because we had issues and injuries. Why are you going to crack now when you've worked so hard to be a good team? And that core guys, they stood up tall today.
It was an emotional victory for the seniors here at home, and they'll return on the 24th to play Tennessee. For Capital City Sports, I'm John Dowdy.
For the second game in the series, our baseball team took on Albany. Jacqueline Lawson has more coverage.
Baseball's back at Founders Park as the Gamecocks look to take the second game of their opening series against Albany. Let's check out the highlights.
The first inning was quick for starting pitcher Braden Webb as he retired Albany's top 3 batters in order, but things changed in the second when designated hitter John Jones hit one out of the park, putting the Gamecocks up 1-0. In the top of the fourth, with the Gamecocks leading 2-0, Albany fought back, when left fielder Connor Powers hit a home run, bringing in 2 runs to tie the game. But the Gamecocks took back the lead in the bottom of the 4th when Chris Cullen batted in Marcus Mooney to make the score 3-2. Cullen got another RBI in the bottom of the 6th, bringing in John Jones to make the score 4-2. In the bottom of the 7th, Jones hit an RBI double, making the final score 6-2 Gamecocks.
It was a great win for the Gamecocks as they start their season 2-0. This is Jacqueline Lawson for Capital City Sports.
On Sunday this week, our softball team also took on Longwood. Garrett Lash has the coverage.
I'm Garrett Lash, and I'm down here at the Beck, where the South Carolina Gamecocks softball team continued play in the Carolina Classic today. In their first game of their doubleheader, they took on the Longwood Lancers, looking to continue their 6-game winning streak. It was supposed to be sunny and 75 degrees down at the stadium, but the South Carolina Gamecocks would take the field under a cloudy 65-degree day. They would send out junior pitcher Nikki Blue to the mound. Now we're going to take you to the bottom of the first inning, and that's Kenzie McGuire. She's going to hit into the fielder's choice, but Longwood is going to make an error, their first of 4 errors on the day. She'd come around to score later in the inning. But at the end of the first inning, Snare is going to hit into that amazing double play made by Krista Kelly to keep the score 1-0. Now on to the top of the 5th, Nikki Blue's going to get a little payback. She's going to strike out Krista Kelly to end the inning. Ensuing half inning, with Paige on third base, Kennedy Clark is going to single her home to put the Gamecocks up 2 runs. Cocky's going to do a little bit of moonwalking here. Now let's take you to the top of the 6th. With 3 ducks on the pond, Carly Donovan is going to hit to second. Check out the double play made by Lauren Masters to get out of the jam. Now, bottom 7. More ducks on the pond, and it's Lauren Masters again, ending the game. Longwood would actually leave 8 runners in scoring position on the day, but they couldn't push a run across as Carolina would win. Nikki Blue's gutsy performance and 4 Longwood errors helped the Gamecocks take Game 1. They're about to take on Winthrop here for Game 2 of their doubleheader, looking to make it 8 straight wins. From the Carolina Softball Stadium at Beckham Field, I'm Garrett Lash with Capital City Sports.
On Sunday, our baseball team finished out their series against Albany. John Wagner has more coverage.
Book into opening weekend here at Founders Park as South Carolina is set to take on Albany for the final time this afternoon. Both games this weekend against the Great Danes have been handed victories, so let's find out if they can continue that trend this afternoon.
The Yardcocks start the day by paying tribute to their favorite bat boy with a dab thrown in there for good measure. It's always a good way to start the day. Speaking of starting, Taylor Widener gets his first start of the year and his first strikeout on a looking Will Miller. He's not happy about that. But later in the inning, Eric Harasta reaches after Marcus Mooney's trying to get there to first, and he's going to go wide, and Kyle Sachs scores as a result, and that's 1-0 Great Danes. And no action until the bottom of the 5th, where John Jones, who had a great weekend, rips one to center field, and he scores Marcus Mooney and ties the game 1-1 here in the 5th. And then in the 6th, Carolina started pouring it on. Chris Cullen puts L.T. Tolbert on third base, who tried to get home and didn't quite make it there. Gene Cohn would get him there later on. And Danny Blair, who's got some quick feet, beat out a slow grounder, and he scored Gene Cohn, making it 3-1. And then John Jones, once again, he puts the ball in the outfield a second time, and he scores the final 2 runs in the 6th. And he gets Blair and Mooney across the plate again. And then up to the 8th inning, Tyler Johnson catches Kyle Sachs looking definitely unhappy with the call. And that was the 11th Gamecock strikeout on the day. And that is all the story told here. Final score 8-1. They blew out Albany on the weekend 24-4 in 3 games. And that's a great start to the season.
Final score here at Founders Park, 8-1 as the Gamecocks take a sweep of opening weekend. Stars on the day were Taylor Widener with 6 strikeouts, and John Jones had 7 RBIs on the weekend, 3 today. They'll play against Appalachian State Tuesday at 4 for the next game in their season. For Capital City Sports, I'm John Wagner.
That's all for this week's edition of Capital City Sports. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For Capital City Sports, I'm Alyssa Butterson. See you next week.